see in the movies of the 007 that he can do anything. Same way, Israel came and it's just a running horse with no brakes. It was very sad. It was very bad. But now, what I think upon is, what should the Muslim world do now? I mean, what we have to do to stop this horse? I mean, we don't, we have seen up to now, no one have done anything except Turkey. I mean, the Turkish president is the only guy who is running very hard behind Israel, that he needs to stop everything now.
So do you think that Pakistan leadership, Nadeem Saab, do you think that Pakistan leadership should have done something, or Pakistan itself should have done something? Nadeem Saab, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes. Do you think that Pakistan or Pakistani leadership have done anything?
I cannot. I can barely hear you, but
okay. My question is, do you think that Pakistani government or Pakistani leadership have done anything, or they should have done anything?
Well, the present setup of Pakistan, they cannot do anything because they are just shoelickers of America, and whatever Israel is doing, they have full support of America. I think single-handedly, no Muslim country can handle this situation. They all have to get together, and they all have to take a unanimous step towards Israel. The thing is that America and the United Nations, both of them needs to understand now that if that whatever is done in Pakistan by Taliban is terrorism, and whatever was done by Taliban in, they say they did it in 2001 on 9/11. If that was terrorism, whatever Saddam Hussein was doing was terrorism, and whatever, if anything happens in any Western country, and a single thing is found of any Muslim that he might be involved in this, if that is terrorism, that then America and United Nations must endorse this thing of Israel as an act of terrorism done in the international waters. So this thing, Pakistan alone, or Turkey alone, or Iran alone, they cannot achieve this thing alone. It has to be a unanimous and a single-handedly. They all have to get united.
Right. Sir, my another question is that I was asking, I asked my guests too, that is this the reason, since you are in Pakistan and you know the situation better than us maybe, that do you think that this is the Palestine issue, or the issues like that, that's the main issue, that why people who live in Pakistan or the Muslim countries or Arab or anybody, that is the reason that they are so anti-American?
Well, Kashmir and Palestine, these issues are such issues which never died from the hearts of people. I mean, there are a bunch of issues in Pakistan at the moment, but these issues are which are always alive. The anti-America element actually comes. This might even be a reason that most of the Muslim world is anti-America. The Middle Eastern Muslims, they are against America due to the Palestine, and the ones in Pakistan and Bangladesh, they are against America, might be of Kashmir. This is a reason. I mean, this is one of the reasons. This is what we were talking about.
That we wanted to clear clear this. That are we anti-American? The people over there, are they anti-American, like American or anti-American foreign policies?
See, no one is anti-American people. No one is anti-American people. Everyone is anti-American foreign policy. They have double standards. They have different policy for Israel. They have different policy for Saudi Arabia, they have different for Pakistan, different from for Iran. They have different human rights for Israel, and they have different human rights for anyone else in the world. If someone dies in Pakistan, they don't care. But if someone dies in Israel, it's a big issue. If Pakistan kills someone, that's a big issue. But if Israel kills 9 people in international waters, America ain't going to say anything. This is the main problem. And this is the element which makes people anti-America.
So this is basically, you said that these are the double standard of American foreign policy is the main issue that why people are so anti-American.
Yes.
Okay. My last question is, what can we do individually? Let's not talk about the leadership. Let's not talk about the government. Let's not talk about the leadership that in the Islamic countries. Let's talk about as an individual. What can we do as an individual to make things better? What can we do as an individual to make our image better?
Well, I specifically request the Muslim youth that we all have to work upon becoming united. The only thing we lack at the moment is we need to get united. Our adults, they have not been able to bring us close, but we, the youth, we have to get united. Until we will not get united, things will not change.
Muhammad Nadeem Saab, thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you so much for being with us online. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
This was Muhammad Nadeem Saab from Pakistan, and as he mentioned earlier, we're not going to talk about the issue anymore because I just don't have any time left. But my question, Qadri, I'm going to ask you this: what can we do as an individual to improve our image while living in Western countries like America, Europe, or anywhere, with keeping our values intact?
We can. For example, as an individual, I can, call one of my friends today and tell him that I was on the show, and I talked to my friend Shiraz, I talked to you, and I gain more knowledge about what's going on, and I became more aware of it. I can do that as a person. I can call somebody and let them know what I did, and more than likely they'll be interested in it. But then as a person, what do I do after I do that? Where do I go? Is there an organization where I can join?
Right, we're not talking about the organization, we're just talking about the individual. What can we do as an individual right now, just like me, you, him, or anybody else,
right, okay.
What can we do as an individual to make our image better? Obviously the image is not all that great, outside, like, if you talk about anywhere in the, maybe, in Western countries or America or anywhere, and while we living here and keeping our values intact, we're keeping our values with us, the Islamic cultural values, the country cultural values and everything. But the question is that how, as an individual, realistically and the most civilized way, can educate people who live here that Islam is a name of peace. Islam is a religion of peace.
Of course.
Well, we can go back to just following the religion, and then anyone around you, you let them know. It depends on what situation you're in exactly. Like,